Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to say a few more words about the Bitcoin network or the Bitcoin network protocol. Over the years, I've received a few questions on Bitcoin network, how it works, and how, in particular, when the upper limit of the number of Bitcoins has been reached, how miners are going to receive their payments for their work. Bitcoin network maintains a blockchain. Okay, so we use a box to represent a block, and block is a collection of transactions signed by the owner of the issuer of that transaction. So each block, so there is a owner and then there is a recipient. And originally, the initial blocks will come from, well, the inventor of the game can can create these blocks for the owner, him or herself. So, and then after a while, then you will have a chain of blocks, okay? And then now suppose Alice collects some of her Bitcoins, which is expressed as a transaction in a block. Okay, so maybe one block has more than she needs, or maybe she needs a few blocks. And then let's say Alice wants to pay a certain number of Bitcoins to Bob by collecting the transactions, the transaction that indicates how much money she has gone, either from the system or from other from payment from by the other users. Okay, so then there will be certain transactions, and let's say so she creates a new block of transactions, so that has the money to pay Bob, and to make this new block into the chain, it needs to find a proof of work, POW, to link them. And who does this work? Well, we know this is done by the miners. Okay, so there will be miners. Actually, not just one, well, actually a large group of miners, which means that there will be a lot of computers out there monitoring announcements. When a new transaction comes in, it will announce or broadcast to the network that there is a new transaction, a link to the blockchain, and the miners are invited to find a POW for that blockchain, for that block, to chain that block into the blockchain. So the whole blockchain is a ledger, so everybody can verify each transaction is legitimate. So that's it. So so miner will, depending on the difficulty level of K, spend around maybe 10 minutes to find a proof of the, work, or POW. The miner who finds it first will make an announcement, and if that work is verified, then that miner will receive a reward from the system indicating how much Bitcoin as the miner will receive as payment. So that's the first thing. So that's where the Bitcoin comes in. But then the next question is, if the upper limit, the ceiling, that means the total number of Bitcoins it is set, it's a preset. When that Bitcoins that when that limit has reached it, when that number has reached its limit, and so this blockchain is still in function. People can still use their Bitcoin to pay the other people for anything. So then you will still have new blocks coming in. So who is going to work? In other words, if the miners won't get paid, so they will not work. Now, obviously, the miners will not get new Bitcoins from the system. So that payment will come from the owner of the transaction. So the owner will pay service fee. Okay. So let's say Alice will pay Bob, and then we'll pay service fee to the miner in the form of blocks. So this is so those will have to be placed into the blockchain as well. So this is essentially how this system will work. And then how do you set the value of K? We know that when K is large, it will require more work. When K is small, it will require less work. The system will maintain an appropriate value of K so that the amount of work will be about 10 minutes, approximately 10 minutes. So if at some point K, the value of a K gets too large, and then nobody can really finish finding a proof of work in about 10 minutes, then that value of K will be reduced. Likewise, if lots of people can finish the work, meaning finding POW in much less than 10 minutes, then the value of K will be increased. So this way, this Bitcoin network will always be increased, okay? And it will just continue on the game. And that is how the scaling is played. So as we said earlier, Bitcoin is not an electronic currency, but people name it as a cryptocurrency because people so this proof of work is hard to get, or in other words, the Bitcoins are hard to earn. It requires specialized computers. It requires lots of electricity to find that POW. So, and some people, rather than they buy their own computers to do their work, so they would rather pay some real money to own Bitcoins. Okay, so then from that point of view, these Bitcoins, although they are in digital form, they become valuable. And also the good thing here is that there is no central control. There is no government on top of it. And as long as people are willing to place the real values on these Bitcoins, and they can be used to exchange for service, exchange for other goods, and so on. So from that point of view, it is a currency, but it is not electronic cash, because to make a protocol to be an electronic cash, we need to satisfy certain properties, and obviously these Bitcoins, they don't satisfy those properties to be classified as electronic cash. So we call them cryptocurrency. That's called. And Bitcoin is not obviously not the only such thing. So people can start from scratch, right? So we can repeat the same process again, start from scratch. We make a new system, so then they will have a new digital currencies in that particular setting. For instance, you could use different hash functions. You could use different signing mechanisms, right? So that way you have a completely new system, and then it will produce new new blocks and and you will get more money. So that's why you have not just one system. You have a lot of cryptocurrency system, not just one. That concludes this video. Thank you for watching.